Hello and welcome to my video where I'll be giving my predictions for the NASCAR 2022 playoffs. Now, if you're not familiar with the NASCAR playoffs, why'd you click on this video? But I still appreciate it anyways. So the playoffs is pretty simple in concept, but is kind of wacky when you consider the format of every other championship series for motorsport series all around the globe. That being said, 16 drivers will have their points equalized when you come into the last 10 races of the year. Then, every 3 races, they will experience a knockout round, which will eliminate the bottom 4 in points for competition for the championship. This will inevitably lead to 4 drivers in the final race competing for the Cup. So let's go ahead and start with the 16 drivers on screen right here in the order of the point standings. I said their points were equalized, but they do get to have bonus points based on stage and race victories throughout the year. And people with a lot of bonus points, the objective in the first 3 races is to simply not lose a lot of points to the rest of the field. And with that in mind, I think drivers like Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, and Joey Logano will have an easy time of making it through into the round of 12. Now, if this was a standard points format, Ryan Blaney would be 2nd in points, and Kevin Harvick would be 5th in points. I think they have the consistent speed to easily make it through this round as well. And throughout the whole year, the fastest Toyota driver consistently has been Martin Truex Jr. But he's not on this list, so I'll say the 2nd fastest, Christopher Bell, will also make it through. His teammates Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch have had below average years, but with both Darlington and Bristol being on the list of tracks in this round, I think they'll do enough to be able to advance from this round as well. So I also have Tyler Reddick moving on, which means that there's only 2 spots left. And unless he gets a win, I just don't think Chase Briscoe has enough consistent speed to advance from this round. And as a Daniel Suarez fan, it sucks to say, but I think I'm going to say his career record at these 3 tracks of Darlington, Bristol, and Kansas is not good enough for him to advance as well. But I believe the big surprise this round will be Alex Bowman and William Byron. Now, they drive for good teams and had good speed in the beginning of the year, so they could even win this weekend. But in the last half of the year, their performance mixed with bad luck have seen them have, on average, poor race results. I think the surprise will be that they do not advance, and meanwhile both of the Austins do. Austin Cindric is in his rookie campaign and he's had a great year with pretty consistent speed. Mixed with his record of these tracks in previous series, I think he does well enough to move on. In addition, Austin Dillon has made it to the round of 12 several times in his career, and his track record at these 3 tracks of Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol is pretty good. So if he has a normal run, I think he can take advantage of other people's problems and advance into the round of 12 as well. So now we're on to the round of 12, and I honestly think that predicting this round is the hardest, because you have a race like Texas, but you also have wild card races like the Superspeedway Talladega and the road course the Charlotte Roval. So honestly, I'll be kind of surprised if Denny Hamlin makes it to the round of 12, and I think that's where it'll end unless he wins at Talladega. The same could be said for Austin Dillon. I think it ends here unless he wins at Talladega. Denny Hamlin's teammate Kyle Busch has had a below average year and a below average career history at superspeedways. I think he doesn't advance to the round of 8 either. So then I believe that the 4th person that stops here is Ryan Blaney. Now, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch are big names, but they haven't had a very good year so far. Ryan, on the other hand, has been pretty consistent, but with the points being equalized at the start of the playoffs, he's only got 2 points over people like Christopher Bell. There's no real statistical reason why I'm predicting this, but I do think he'll be out in the round of 12. In other words, I think Chase, Larson, Chastain, and Logano will pass this round pretty easily unless they have a pair of terrible races at the wild card rounds. In addition, Austin Cindric has been good at Texas, he's good at superspeedways, and he's good at road courses. I think if he makes it to the round of 12, he advances to the round of 8. And like Austin, Reddick has been good at road courses. I believe he will advance from this round as well, continuing to outperform his team. Then finally, I believe that Kevin Harvick and Christopher Bell just managed to outpoint their way into the final positions, beating out Ryan Blaney. For the round of 8, I believe that Austin Cindric's great rookie campaign ends here. I think if Ross Chastain makes it this far, other drivers won't let him continue to the Championship 4. And Christopher Bell also stops here because I'm predicting that at least 2 races will be won in this round by people advancing, and therefore the last position will be a points battle, and I don't think Christopher Bell will have enough points to make his way in. So what I'm saying is that Logano will either get in on consistency, or he'll move someone at Martinsville to get that final position if he must. Harvick has a decent track record at all 3 races, and he's a 2-time winner at Las Vegas in recent years, and I think he ends up doing it again, locking in his position. So that means there are 2 drivers for 3 positions, and I believe that in sort of an upset, Tyler Reddick will outwall ride Kyle Larson and secure a win at Homestead, Miami, therefore advancing into the final round. That means that we have 2 to 3 winners making it to the final round. So that means all that's left is a competition for points between Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. Now, the reason why I don't think they've won a race in this round is because they keep getting each other's way and slowing each other down like they've kind of done in other points throughout the earlier part of the year. Their track records at these 3 tracks are kind of sporadic and kind of similar, but Chase has a better average history at Martinsville. So I think Chase will ultimately make it into the Championship 4 based on better performances, especially at a place like Martinsville, as long as he's not the one that Joey Logano moves out of the way. So now it's on to the final round, and if this was old Phoenix, I'd say Kevin Harvick has already won the championship. But it's not, it's new Phoenix, and he's not been as dominant here. As a matter of fact, ignoring Reddick, all 3 of these drivers have a pretty good record at New Phoenix Repave, so I think they'll all be pretty close in competition all night long. And in true NASCAR fashion, I think it'll come down to a late race restart where Joey Logano and Chase Elliott will make light contact, slowing each other down, and then Kevin Harvick will swoop in from behind to get his first win at the New Phoenix, therefore becoming the NASCAR 2022 champion. Now, maybe you think I'm dreaming, and maybe I am a little bit, but if I was dreaming completely, I'd say that Daniel Suarez will win the championship over Reddick, Blaney, and Cindric in the final round. I'd say what I put in this video is more an educated look at their career statistics mixed with a bit of hopefulness for something slightly unexpected and interesting to happen. My completely logical and boring guess would say Elliott wins the championship over Larson, Logano, and Blaney in the final round. But assuming you aren't watching this video exactly when I put it up, we've already seen what happens in the first race of the playoffs, and it could make everything I've said here completely useless. Now, I said in my last face video that my normal driver profile videos will be returning soon with Sebastian Vettel, and that's still true, but I wanted to put this video up before the playoffs started. So with that being said, if you like this or you like that, be sure to subscribe and come back at the beginning of next week when we take a look at the Formula 1 4-time world champion, Sebastian Vettel. But until then, I'll see you next time on Driver Profiles.